In 2024, we had 1,777 tornadoes here in the US. We had 152 of those in Oklahoma.
Right in front of us, dude.
Big tornado just crossed the road right in front of us, a sulfur.
124 of those were in Texas and 89 were in Kansas. Tornadoes are like the uninvited guests of weather. They're messy and they show up on very short notice. We cannot avoid tornadoes, but we may be able to make our homes as tornado-proof as we can. So every house has a roof. I mean, ideally, every house has a roof, right? Not every roof is the same, as I'm sure you know. And there are steps that you can take to make sure that your roof is ready for a tornado. You can reinforce your roof with hurricane straps or Titan bolts. These metal fasteners connect your walls to the roof and help your house withstand those high winds. These make a really big difference when the wind picks up. In some of the houses that I've sold, I've seen where the roof, like the rafters, have been like lifted up from the actual frame itself. It doesn't always mean that the house is in poor condition, but it's just really telling of how strong our winds are. So this is pretty standard to my understanding to have hurricane straps and Titan bolts in newer houses. Obviously, in older houses, we may not have this, but you can get your roof retrofitted for this. You can also upgrade your roof to have impact-resistant shingles. We call these Class 4 shingles. This is if you're using a traditional shingle. There are other types of roofs that will be impact-resistant as well. Storm shutters could also be an option for your windows and your doors. And I looked around and thought I've never seen a storm shutter in my life here in Oklahoma. So you think that we would use these for high winds and such, but we don't. And I kind of get it because they don't happen as much as you think they would. You can also opt for impact-resistant windows, like tempered glass. And here again, this is another thing that we do not really do here in Oklahoma. The garage door is typically going to be the weakest part of the home, so there's a couple of things you can do. There are options to upgrade to like a wind-rated, hurricane-resistant garage door. We don't really do that here in Oklahoma either. You can also retrofit your garage door with wind bracing kits. So this is something that they do on newer homes, on most of them. So builders will install what's called a portal frame on the garage door. This helps the garage door and the garage itself to be more secure in those high wind conditions. Let-in wind bracing is another thing that builders do to secure your home against these high winds. So this is a method of bracing a wall by installing a 1x4 diagonally across the frame. These are let in or partially cut away into the studs at the top and bottom plates of the wall. This creates a secure connection to resist lateral loads like wind pressure. So essentially, it's a common way to stabilize a wall. So we have all seen footage of tornadoes throwing things, right?
Julia, we got cows. Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
While there's reasonably no way to stop a tornado from throwing your truck or cow into the air and across the street, it is reasonable to have a place to store your outdoor furniture so it doesn't end up in your neighbor's window. Also, the trampolines, guys, the trampolines. This is always a hysterical, huge deal here in Oklahoma with our high winds. It's also a really good idea to have your trees trimmed back away from your house. And if you have any dead or partially dead trees even close to your house, I would get that taken care of. It can cause a huge amount of damage to your house and your car and anything else that's underneath it. Another idea is to use mulch in your flower bed instead of rocks or anything heavy that can be used as a flying weapon for the high winds of the tornadoes. And inside your home, you can strap down heavy furniture, bookcases, things like that. So maybe it won't throw those things around. I don't really see many people doing this. Of course, people that have small children will do this because it's essentially child-proofing your home. But it is a good idea, honestly. I'm Marcie Billen, and I am a real estate agent here in Oklahoma, and I am connected to real estate agents all over the country. On my website, you can fill out this short form, get connected with me. I'll give you a call and help you figure out what your next step might be if you're thinking about relocating. And yes, I do personally make those phone calls. I love talking to you guys. You'll find this link in my description and below in the comments. So while all these ideas are great for helping your house be more tornado resistant, we cannot stop tornadoes in general. We can't. So the number one thing you're going to do is get your safe spot prepped. Have an emergency kit packed. And we used to say to do this in the spring here in Oklahoma, but October tornadoes have been very popular in the past few years. In your emergency kit, you're going to want flashlight, first aid kit, water, snacks. Maybe like some people keep all of their documents in like a document folio and put that in their storm shelter as well. So that way you don't have to go through the trouble of getting all those important documents again. Some families practice tornado drills together, and I have never done this. I don't know that my cats would enjoy that, but we did used to do this in school, and kids in Tornado Alley typically do this in school. Tornado shelters are really common here, and there are lots of different kinds, but the biggest thing is to be in an interior room away from any windows. You can put a mattress on top of you, blankets. Some people put helmets on, especially for their kids, I think. This makes a lot of sense to me. All of that stuff can protect you from flying objects or stuff falling on top of you. It's totally impossible to completely stop a tornado, but these things might help. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and be sure to watch this video next.